Shalom Makium, Wagwathian. Bear with me one quick second. Make sure we up and rolling. I know why they won't let me change this title. Alright. Fuck that open. Shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah Thumb. My brothers, Yahweh Shemal the Thun. Bahashem Yahweh Shah to the sisters. I'm priest and officer of 5,000 Cobb at the Israelite School of UPK. Start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. As y'all know, today is the Brotherhood's class, which is very important, especially during the time that we in right now. But just bear with me 1 second. I'm going to spark it off, and we're going to touch on conflict resolution and why it's so important to Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians today, all right? All right, no sweat. Most High in Christ. Okay. So, actually, what I'm going to do is, just so I can get this thing rolling, if anybody has any questions, you know what I'm saying, if you could just type them in now, you know what I'm saying? I want to get the questions out the way now if anybody has any. So, of course, if y'all got it, go ahead and drop that thing in there. Alright? If not, I'm going to just spark it off. Alright? The reason why, well, while I'm waiting for y'all to put that in there, though, right? The reason why we have to teach our people how to resolve conflict between that they have between each other. And the reason why we don't know how to resolve the conflict that we have between each other is because of the virus called Christianity. You understand? Christianity is a deadly virus, as deadly as the coronavirus. You understand? And you mean to tell me that, you know, we've been attending the Christian church since what the 1800s? We've been going to that Christian church, man. You understand? And out of the centuries upon centuries of ever learning knowledge that we've been getting out of that Christian church, no one has ever taught our people how to resolve a conflict. And then what they want to do is they want to turn around and then point the finger at the brother or sister that tries to resolve a matter in their own way, right? And they try to look at him like, you know, this man or this woman is ungodly, like, you know what I mean? Like black people, brothers that's in the streets that live a street life, a Christian will point their finger at that brother, you know what I mean? Because he on that corner, he's selling them drugs. He get into a conflict with another black or Hispanic man. His reaction is to solve it with violence. All right. Well, this is the problem with Christianity. The problem with Christianity is that they don't take your Christian pastor doesn't take accountability for his actions, and he doesn't hold himself accountable for the lives that are at his hand. You understand? They don't hold themselves accountable for the lives that, so many brothers and sisters go up in them they go up in them church doors because they at their lowest point in life, and they go in there and they trying to get some type of healing, and meanwhile the cat that you going to get the healing from doesn't even respect you as a brother. You understand? The only thing he sees is your money. You know what I mean? But if you was a real priest, if you was a real pastor, or whatever self-proclaimed title that they've given themselves, that affiliate them with the Most High, what you would do is you would hold yourself responsible for what's wrong in our communities. You would hold yourself responsible for that brother that's on the corner selling them drugs. You know what I mean? You would look at him and you say, well, dang, why is this brother on this corner selling them drugs? You listen to him, he talk about he's selling the drugs because he's trying to put food in his baby's stomach. You know what I mean? He can't pay his rent. That's why he's selling the drugs. You understand? And instead of your Christian pastor like Creflo Dollar or T.D. Jakes that live in multi-million-dollar mansions, you know what I mean, and have multi-million-dollar jets and forms of transportation, you know what I mean? They don't take that money, they don't come together and say, you know what? Let's all come together and resolve the poverty crisis that Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians are suffering from. Let's come together and, give the biblical solution on how to resolve a conflict, so that way the brother in the streets, he ain't out there solving it, and he's not resorting to violence as a first response to any problem that he gets into, any conflict that he has. You know what I mean? Brothers and sisters all the same. You know what I mean? And that's why you got all that backbiting in the Christian church. Everybody in there gossiping about each other. This one talking behind this one back. You know what I mean? It's a never-ending cycle. You know what I mean? But in the Isupk, we've been raised up to be responsible, to be held accountable for the condition of our people. You understand? We hold ourselves accountable. And that way, who wants the life of a brother on his hands? You know what I mean? Who want the life of a brother or a sister, you know what I mean, on their hands that doesn't need to be? You know what I mean? Now you feel the pressure, and that pressure gets applied, and the pressure it's going to force you to get out there and go do something about it. You know what I mean? So that way you can put an end to it, and you don't have to be, you don't have to suffer. You don't have to suffer thinking about, well, man, if only I gave these brothers and sisters this solution. You know what I'm saying? You go out there and we're going to drop that truth on you, whether you hear it or you don't want to hear it. You know what I mean? But at least at the end of it all, we could say that we at least told you so. You know what I mean? Like, how we going to charge you and we didn't even tell you about what you was doing that was wrong in the sight of the Lord. You know what I mean? We didn't tell you how you dying out here in these streets, and the reason why you dying out here is because you out here breaking these laws, statutes, and commandments that the Lord laid down for us. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, I'm going to get to the scriptures, because I know how that's going to go, so I'm going to just get right up in there, all right? You know what I mean? So, like I said, we're going to keep it with the sword, all right? So, right now, we're going to start it off. Let's go to Matthew 18 and start at verse 15. Right? Matthew 18 and 15. Bear with me. Matthew 18. Matthew 18 and 15. All right. All right, let's read it. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, right? Shall trespass against you, right? What does it mean to trespass? A trespass is an offense. So the offense could be anything that might have offended you. Maybe a brother said something wrong to you, but that you felt was wrong in your eyes. That brother might have said something wrong to you. He might have spoke to you a little strong or something like that. Or a sister, you might think a sister is giving you, some type of bad, if it's offended you, anything that's offended you, it could be whatever you're feeling, you know what I mean? Just think about it like that. Whatever you feel inside of you, like that a brother or sister that does something that offends you, you know what I mean? This is pertaining to that feeling. All right. This is what Christ is talking about, right? And this goes for sister as well. I know it says, brother shall trespass against you, you know what I mean? But what applies to the man between thee and him alone, between he and thee alone, you understand? That's what you are required to do. That's how you resolve it in the essence. Now there's 3 phases to judgment. All right, that's the first portion of it right there. The first portion of our ranking, so sir, that I really wasn't. It offended me when you said that thing that you said to me that you, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to find, man. That thing that you said to me, it offended me. I'm going to you. And I'm telling you, it's between me and you. This is a private conversation. This ain't nothing like that. You know what I mean? It says alone. That's isolation right there. You know, it's an exclusive conversation that you ought to have between between yourself and whoever was the person that offended you. All right. Now, what else does that mean? That means that. So this is the thing, right? A lot of times, what will happen is, rather than going and telling that brother or that sister what they did that offended you, what we'll do, Salakia, what we'll do is we'll go tell another brother about it. We'll go, you know what I mean? You go and tell another brother, you go and tell another sister. You know what I mean? You know what that's called? That's called gossiping, backbiting. You know what I mean? If you a man and rather than going and telling a brother the problem that you have between you and him, rather than doing that, you go and you tell the next man, or you go and you with your woman, you tell your woman, oh, I didn't like what he did when he did this, or when he said this to me. You know what I'm saying? You go and you do that thing. That's the thing that you do, because you ain't never been at such as this. But there's no, I mean, you want to go to him alone, you want to go to her alone. All right? So, and, 10 times out of 10, slap you. So make sure, you know what I'm saying, the demon is going to leave. Whatever demon that was troubling, you go and you tell the other, or that sister, and you go and you tell them, Salakia, you know what I'm saying? Oh, my bad, Ak, you know what I mean? Oh, Salakia, Akwa. Woo, woo, you know what I mean? Let's read on. His fault between thee and him alone. If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. You know what I mean? That's what if he hears you. So what does it mean when it say if he hear you? If they hear you, that means Salaki, like I said, you know, I didn't mean to say that to you. Oh, I'm Salaki. I apologize that I did that thing to you. You know what I mean? You gained your sister. You gonna tell that sister with whatever little problem you having with her, and she hear what I just say, and then she said, "Salaki Agua, I apologize for that. I really didn't mean to do that." You know what I mean? Now, at right there, it ends right there. You understand? That's where it ends. However, if it doesn't, let me see, before I go there. Yeah, I'm gonna get a preset before I go to the next verse. So we gonna hold Matthew 18, right? We'll hold Matthew 18 and 16, and I want to go to Leviticus. All right, I want to go to Leviticus 19, and hold on, bear with me 1 second. Leviticus 19. And we at 19. Leviticus 19 and da. 18. Okay. Bear with me 1 second. I'm trying to see where I want to start. All right, so we in 16. What is it? 16. Right, we'll start at to 17. So we'll go to Leviticus 19 and 17. All right. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Now this is what we talking about. You know what I mean? You are not allowed to hate your brother or your sister in your heart. What is your heart? Your heart is your mind. You understand? That's what you are not allowed to do according to the Lord. This is not good in the sight of the Most High. To harbor hatred for your heart that displeases the Lord, or to harbor hatred for a sister that displeases the Most High. You understand? Now, what does that sound like? What that sound like is, you've been offended, right? And you've been offended, and now, instead of going to that brother or that sister, you and him alone, right? Now, you don't, as opposed to doing that, what we read about in Matthew 18 and 15, what you do is, you hold your peace. You don't speak on the matter. And you let the hatred build up inside of you. How does it build up inside of you? It starts inside of your head. You start thinking evil thoughts about that brother or that sister. You understand? And you thinking evil thoughts about them, you know what I mean? And you just walk around them and you acting like everything is tawab, you know what I mean? In reality, it's not tawab, you know what I mean? You should not harbor hatred for your brother in your heart. You should not harbor any type of hatred inside of you for another brother or sister. Alright? Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor. Now I just want to make a point here, right? When it says your neighbor, right, in the scriptures, now you can clearly see it's your brother. Your neighbor is your brother, according to the flesh. All right, no sweat. And then not only that, this is talking. When you go to the first verse of this chapter, this is talking. This is Moses being commanded by the Most High to speak to the congregation of Israel. No heathens amongst them to receive this message. All right. However, your neighbor is your brother. All right. Your kin, your blood, according to the flesh. All right. No sweat. So it says, rebuke thy neighbor. Now, rebuke thy neighbor, meaning what? Meaning thou shalt in any wise correct that brother, correct that sister. All right. That's what you should do. Okay? Let's read on. And not suffer sin upon them, upon him. Right? So, like we said, you gotta go and you gotta talk about it. Because what does it say? Thou shalt not suffer sin upon him. What it mean when it say that is, there's so much pent up to grow. What you notice is, what is that? Your breaking point. You know what I mean? And then eventually you might just snap on somebody, which is not a good thing. You know what I mean? You don't go and you don't say nothing about the problem that you have. Before you know it, that person is going to keep offending you. Why are they going to keep offending you? Because they don't even know that they're offending you with what they're doing. And now you understand? And then they'll do other things that you don't like. And now that's going to build up. And then it gets to the point where y'all are in a full out physical altercation. You know what I mean? Come to. It resorts to a physical altercation, sister, what have you. You know why? Because you didn't communicate. You didn't talk. You didn't speak about what was troubling you. And because you didn't do that, because you didn't speak about what was troubling you, now you know what I mean? You done did harm to this brother or this sister. You done snatched the by the wig, you know what I mean, and grabbed the ponytail and got it in. You know what I mean? So, and what we are oftentimes we would associate that with being strong. You understand? Like people think it's weak to ask, oh, he trying me, he testing me. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He trying me, he testing me or what have you. And you think that person is trying and testing you. You know what I mean? And they're not trying, they're not testing you. I mean, and you think when you wipe the floor with them, now you've gotten respect. You understand? Now that, and then the people around you, oh, yeah, she wild on her. She whooped her tail. You know what I mean? Oh, he folded that cat. You know what I mean? He jacked him. But this is what they don't understand. By you beating that brother or sister up, or stabbing them, or shooting up, or whatever bodily harm that you do to that brother or sister, because you had hatred harbored up in you for them, that you never communicated, that does not make you strong. And in fact, what it does make you is weak. You know what I mean? It makes you weak. You know what I mean? That's not how you show that you're strong. By, you know what I mean? You never talk about a problem. You know what I mean? And that's not respected. You know what I mean? It should have been above you or something like. Go and tell them about it. A man. You know what I mean? So that way the brotherhood is going to heal. Don't don't come to camp and, come through dressed like, oh, I don't care. I'm going to come through it. I'm going to dress jacked up to camp. You know what I mean? I'm going to rock. No, it's not UPK approved to camp. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Just to spite my camp leader. Or I'm going to come here and I'm going to cuss up a storm on a microphone. You know what I mean? Just to what? Just to spite my camp leader. You know what I mean? That's what he get for doing that thing to me. You know what I mean? I'm going to come to camp and I'm going to pick on somebody in the crowd. You know what I mean? I'm going to single them out just because, I'm a high. You know what I mean? I'm not going to call in for check-in because, you know what I mean? You ain't going to call in for check-in. Ultimately, you not hurting me. You not hurting the man above you. But you are hurting. You're hurting yourself even more. You're causing yourself to hurt by not trying to heal it. By not trying to heal what's wrong with you. That's what's happening. So, don't be passive aggressive at all. You know what I mean? And especially if we in the school, we are not allowed to be passive aggressive. Okay? So let's read on. Thou shalt not avenge Okay, let me see. Matter of fact, yes, it came on statutes. Now we're gonna go back to Matthew 18, and then we'll read on from 16. I just want to get that real quick before I get it. Verse 16. But if he will not hear thee, if he will not hear thee, right? So if he will not hear thee, meaning what? Meaning this brother or this sister feels like, hey, listen, Aquab, I didn't do nothing wrong, man. You tripping. You out your mind. Understand? The Bible says this and that. This is what to do. And it's according to the Bible, it says we able to do that thing. You know what I mean? And you just not, you like, man, I can't let it go like that. You know what I'm saying? It's really trouble. And, you know, he's saying he will not hear thee. Let me read. Hold on. Take with thee that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word may be established. You know what I mean? I don't know what you talking about. I never said that. I never did that. Oh, July. Remember Officer Isaiah was there? Remember Officer Ricard was there? Boom. You know what I mean? And you said that and bring him through. You know what I mean? Rock and Isaiah said, yeah, he said that thing. You know what I mean? He said that thing that you said he said. I remember hearing that. Yeah, every word may be established. Because of course, if it's just your word against mine, and I didn't do this and I didn't do that, and I ain't say this and I ain't say that, you know what I mean? What are we going to do to validate? You understand? What are we going to do? What's the method? What you're going to do is you're going to call in that witness, that 1, 2, 3 witnesses. You understand? And of course, you know what I'm saying? So let me just read on though. All right. To hear them. Right? So he's trying to neglect him. Shalaki, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We gonna get it in though. Now you bring the 2 witnesses, right? And you bring them 2 witnesses in, the brother, the whoever your 2 to 3 witnesses are that were there to witness what was said or done, and they verifying it, and he says or she says, I don't know what type of time y'all on some sneaky stuff, y'all put together, you know what I mean, y'all tight like that, that's why y'all coming at me like this, you know what I mean, that's the only reason, because y'all brothers is stick together, so he gonna stick up for you, that's your man, you know what I'm saying, alright, no sweat, you know what I mean, but if so now, this is the case, if he accelerate slow and steady, you know what I mean, that's how we gonna get it in, you know what I mean, right here, obey the speed limit. This is like obeying the speed limit. You don't want to go 0 to 100 limit, and you're gonna be just fine. And right here, this is what lit unto the church, right? Now, if he neglects church, also lock it. And another thing, the other 2, 3 witnesses, right? The other 2, 3 witnesses, like to bring it to our time, right? Where we at right now. You know what I'm saying? That would be like and you know, that brother or sister, you know what I mean? The next step to that would be a minor council between you and the offender and the camp leader, and I believe a general comes in on them councils as well. You understand? So take that in mind to consideration also. So now you seeing a whole method being employed to solve this matter, not because it's just any matter, but because every matter, no matter how small, is of importance when it comes to here. You know what I mean? It's very, very important. All right. So let's read on. And if he shall neglect to hear thee, tell it unto the church. Now, when it say tell it unto the church, now this is it being brought before the whole nation. All right. So now this matter gets brought before the whole nation. You know what I mean? Like I said, today we have something called minor council, and we have something called a major council. So in that major council, that's when this issue gets brought to the major council. Okay, so that issue gets brought to the major council now, because we went through the first phase. The first phase being you told that brother to 2-3 win. This the major council. This is now being brought before the whole nation. All right, because they didn't want to listen to the verdict in a minor council. You understand? They didn't want to listen to that in a minor council, and they were still in disagreement. So it had to be brought to another extent. All right, let's read on. Tell it unto the church, but if he so lucky, tell it unto the church, but if he neglect to hear the church, let him. So he neglect to hear the church. So now it get brought before the whole major council. It get brought before the whole nation of brothers. You understand this matter? And still, the brother said to Lockheed. Yet and still, the brother says, nah, I still feel I'm right.